How's it going, everybody? Hanging over twitch.tv/Lawler with some of the most relaxed music ever. There was no drop there whatsoever, it felt like. Either way, we're down for some chill vibes, and we're going to keep it pretty simple today and talk about some of the roster confirmations. Obviously, there's a ton of rumors and stuff, and we'll talk about that at the very end of the video. I will link my document for you all if you guys haven't seen it, but we're talking about some confirmations that have been built up over the last few days and kind of focused in on like 2-3 different rosters in particular. We're going to start off. We're going to make this big screen because I know Mr. Editor Wojtek is a huge fan of not having to put up additional things when they're just on the display, so making his life easy. First one's going to come from Endpoint, who is actually becoming one of my favorite organizations over in Europe, just due to the way that they handle themselves, the way they present information, the way that they like do exterior content and like IRL stuff. Endpoint's been doing a lot of really good things, and I think this statement in particular is a good way to do it. So they do have a statement about the Rocket League team. This came out a little over a week ago, it feels like, and it talks about, hey, the success of Endpoint, rightfully so. You know, they made a roster change. They're one of 2 teams that have actually made every single major, the other one being BDS. So very like solid results for Endpoint, despite, you know, having to use a player on loan and everything else. And talks about, hey, Relating Wave, Metza, and Eclipse, our contracts are now expired. So the team is officially free agents and are able to look for other opportunities. What does that exactly mean? Whether Relating Wave, Metza, Eclipse want to go and look for a different team, whether they want to stay together and look for a different org, whether they want to try other options, there is nothing holding them back contractually. There is no requirements for them. They're able to go and do whatever they want. They could also just enter renegotiations with Endpoint. That is entirely up to them. There's a bunch of different options. It says, hey, wholeheartedly, we enjoy working with them. Grateful for their hard work. Extremely good terms with the players. Everything's been great. But with the next year approaching, they're going to continue their journey with familiar faces or perhaps some other exciting path. So again, it sounds like Endpoint is open to re-signing the team and trying to find a different third, because obviously Archie was on loan and everything else, but a lot of luck in their future endeavors and everything else. They also, which I love, remember, like, hey, congratulations to Seiko for winning Worlds. Key part of the campaign. Also thanks to Archie. So like, they check all the boxes. We're saying thanks to the players that were with us temporarily, one who went on to have crazy success, one that we had on loan. We appreciate our current team, which we're open to doing business with them still, and like all the different things, and just kind of handles it with perfection. Like, this is exactly what you want to see out of an organization. Super professional, thanks to all the players. Firm handshakes all around, and then they move on. So the big thing to take away from this: Wave, Metza, Eclipse, all former Endpoint, now looking as free agents, whether they want to look for other teams or otherwise, they are able to. We are going to have to wait and see on what those tryouts and everything else look like, whether they want to stay together. All of it right now is just speculation, so we'll have to keep you guys up to date on that. Up next, Sector 1 says, hey, here it is. We kept you waiting. The ESRL, which is going to be a different league that is being played, has a team announced with Panda. I can't say it.
Gekkerman.
Wendy, do the phonetic thing in chat. I can't. It's a very harsh letter that my American dialect can't do. And then Justice is an ESRL team in a league, but it is not the official team. Do the scraping G. Heckaman. I can't do it. It just sounds terrible. It just sounds like I'm a honkaloogie. It feels gross. I don't like it. Either way, Panda, Heckaman, and Justice, close enough. I'll take it. Are going to be a roster for ESRL, but a lot of people got bamboozled by this because shortly after, ViolentPanda says for the next season of RLCS, he's actually playing with Prime and Compact. So do not be confused by that. This is me updating you guys. This is actually the team that we are going to see for RLCS with ViolentPanda. No longer with Heroic, no longer with Oli, though, Nozaki, all the different players that came down with that. There is a different team for Sector 1 for ESRL, but for his actual team, looking for a roster, looking for org, all that kind of stuff, this is what they have for ViolentPanda and Peru. So keep that in mind. ESRL, different team for RLCS. Again, these could always be subject to change, but it sounds like they've locked this in. Take my ARG, or ARG has been announcing, like, hey, we've got some stuff being announced in the near future. 1st of September is the plan on when we announce it. But Porter did some Giga Brain silhouette magic and figured out, well, that hair looks pretty iconic to Mark by 8. This looks like Atomic, and that looks like Dorito. So Spanish Bim Bam 2.0 coming at you soon. Mark, Atomic, and Dorito, most likely for ARG. That is speculation. That is not confirmed. It is not 100%, but that is what we are looking at potentially for ARG when they join the scene with Marc, Atomic, and Dorito. A lot of people are talking about how it was potentially going to be with CRR. They did announce and had conversations about that elsewhere, about how it didn't really pan out. So this is what they're looking to solidify. So they did try different iterations with CRR, but CRR still with Guild at the moment. Talking about being on loan as well with Archie. Archie is officially looking for a new team. That's what LFT is, looking for a team. Now the Worlds has concluded, my loan with Endpoint has come to an end. Still with Semper, but they have allowed me to explore my options for the upcoming season. Now I don't know if he is still under contract, and because of that, there may be a buyout and having to purchase out the rest of that contract. That is a potential. It sounds like it due to the fact that he says he still is with Semper, so he doesn't specify if he's an unrestricted free agent or just a free agent or whatever it is, or however that may be. But I would have to assume that he is under contract still, and there will be a buyout clause for Archie. Obviously, Archie proven on that Endpoint team that he is still a dog and deserves to be picked up. So looking forward to Archie and finding a new home. Again, a player that I expect to try out for many different rosters and see where he lands. And then speaking of Semper, we've got the whole Semper crew, Chausette, Exotiik, as well as Kassio. All three of those players have talked about, hey, I am now LFT. I can't read that, but also same. He replies with a quote tweet for Exotiik. Also LFT. Kassio also says the same thing. Now, the thing to remind people is that Chausette, Exotiik, and Kassio haven't disbanded, but they are open for options. So as of right now, the former Semper squad, because the contract ends in September, allows them to go and explore for different organizations and different teams if they would like. Currently, it sounds like Kassio, Chausette, and Exotiik have told each other, this is a fallback. This is an opportunity that if things don't pan out, we as a collective can come back together and make a run. We performed quite well. We surprised a lot of people in wildcard, some more than others, myself included. But we have that as a backup plan. But primarily, we are also going to see what the best options available are. So they have been very forthcoming with this. Also, wrong Chausette in this tweet, unfortunately, Kassio. But they have made conversation of saying, hey, go and look for different teams. Go try out for whoever you want. Go see if there's better options out there that you feel more comfortable with. But worst case scenario, we're still together. You can always come back to this. This is a safe space. So that is something that is a possibility. But the former Semper squad, even with Exotiik, are looking elsewhere across the board. They're trying to try out, find a different org, all that kind of stuff. And if it doesn't play out, they will end up together. So that is an opportunity that we're seeing from the former Semper team. And last but not least, Turbopolsa talks about how he has an announcement in a few days. And then Turbo does Turbo things and puts this out. Thank you, Turbo. I appreciate that. Thank you for that insight and that really important thing. Jokes aside, he does follow up and says, hey, I had something lined up, but it got postponed. So he does have something he was going to announce, but things got postponed. There is potential for something still in the next coming days. So Turbo, of course, continuing to be Turbo. And because of that, we have started our roster doc. This link will be in the description for everybody watching this video. It's broken down in two ways. We have the end of the season, what the rosters were. We're only doing top 8. As things start to fill in, we will start putting more rosters in this document, trying to track like what their former team was, all that kind of stuff. Things that have been announced, we'll start positioning these around, and then we will track it just like we did for the last, 3 seasons of all the rosters, things to pay attention to, where they were, what the roster changes were. Were they a rookie? Did they come from a previous team? All that kind of stuff. We will track everything we can. And then on the right side of the document, there's 2 portions. The bottom side is rumors. These are things not confirmed. They are conversations that have happened publicly, whether it be reported by Shift or otherwise. These are not 100% happening and are subject to change. The ones up top are 100% locked in. They've been tweeted official sources, whether it be the players themselves or the organizations that they're involved with. So that is going to be the way we are doing this. I will try to update this as much as possible in the coming days. We do a lot of this discussion over on the stream, hence everybody here in chat. But if you guys would like to come hang out, whether it be with Caden or the rest of us, please come hang out with us. Twitch.tv/LAWL. We stream every day, but Tuesday and Sunday. We usually start about 2 in the afternoon. So links to everything I'm talking about in today's video will be in the description down below, along with a link to this document if you guys would like to go check out. You can also come by the stream twitch.tv/Lawler. You can type exclamation point RLCS rosters. It'll pull up that document. You have the ability to look at it and see it as much as you want. The only thing you can't do is edit it because I don't need anybody messing with the stuff that I'm doing. So that is always an option. Those things will always be there. But that is what we have for our video today. Again, there's a bunch of rumors like you guys saw in the document that I did not bring up because they are rumors. We're trying to stick to confirmations here, official things that are happening. So with that said, if you guys do enjoy the content, as always, like, subscribe, notifications. You guys know how it goes. Helps me out greatly. And we'll see you in the next video. Peace.